It's time to complete the Marble Night City from ROKR. Here's our first pieces, so let's go ahead and connect them, and this will basically create a piece called Q, and that will come in very handy later on, trust me. Right, so let's just go and connect them. There we go. Nice hard push, nice and tight, that's good, that's what I like to see. There we are. That feels very nice and tight and secure, which is very good. Okay, then we come onto this piece. So just make sure you're very easy with this when you're breaking it out, and make sure, again, I'm gonna keep repeating this, make sure you sand all the joints. So that's the joints that have been left because these pieces are attached obviously to wooden sheets. So see that joint right there, that's how it's connected to the wooden sheet, and you want to make sure you sand it. Again, it's not just for the functionality, it's for the looks, it's for the feel, you see, it's just for everything. You want it to be amazing. Okay, let's go ahead, pop this in. Nice and tight. There we go, right till the end basically. Excellent. Nice. Okay. Whoa, see that? Careful, careful. Aha. There we are. Don't want to snap those little horns off, you know. No way you want to do that. Okay, so now we come onto this piece. So this will sit on there just like this, because this is going to be that piece that's going to make the marbles go one way or the other way. So now what we do is we grab our 3cm/30mm rod, pop that in. You can use your little wee tool if you want to measure and make sure you've got the right one. It's very easy. Pop that rod through, and now we're gonna go ahead and pop the black sleeves on, you see. You can use your little wee tool or anything that you have, like just any wooden piece, just to kind of pop it in a little bit. And if your finger's getting sore at the other side, just like mine was just now, just pop another wooden piece on the other end and then push it in. There we go. Nice and flush. That's how you want it. And we do exactly the same on the other side. Okay. So, to me it looks like the rod's a little bit sticking out on this end, so I'm going to push it in just a little bit. Okay, we don't want to push in too hard, otherwise, did you see that? This little piece right here, that one, it kind of bent in, so don't push in too hard. Just nice and flush, that will do just fine. Excellent! And now, on to our next piece in. So we push it in, and then push it to the left. Then we go to the next one, make sure it goes in the right way, so this pointy thing at the end has to stay towards the inside of the actual wooden sheet. Okay, oh, there we go, and then you push it back a little bit to hold it in place basically, and then it will make this stopping from moving as well basically. Jeez, that came out a bit wrong, didn't it? So yeah, it basically stops this from moving, and then you connect these two together as well. Now onto the next one again. Make sure it goes in the right way, so the pointy thing at the bottom goes towards the inside of the wooden sheet. So let's go ahead, pop that in. Just be careful, nice and gentle. And then push it back to push it in the slot so it holds nice and tight. There we go, very nice and straightforward. Here's the satisfying part. Absolutely love it. Surely you all get satisfied out of that, because that feels amazing, you know. It's just like getting a new phone and you peel that screened plastic off. Ah, oh, that feels so good. And another one. God, that is satisfying, isn't it? So nice. So we pop these two plastic pieces in their place. Just be careful with the second one, it's slightly awkward. Okay, so that's that popped in, look at that. Making its shape already. Awesome. So this next piece that we are going to assemble, we actually need 2 of those, so make sure you assemble 2 of them, not just one, because you might miss that. It's very easy to be missed, to be honest. And don't mix up the sleeves, because we need the black ones and the transparent ones. Okay, so let's start with popping the sleeve on the rod. We can use that little wee tool to help us. And see, when you look for the rods, so they are 3 centimeters, yes, so 30 mils. You can put it against that tool and see if it measures at 3 centimeters, and it does, so perfect. It's just in case if you need it. So I've got a little wee piece right here just to help me push that sleeve into place. There we go. Oh, a bit too far, just slightly too far. Want it nice and flush from the looks of things. That's one. There we go. Nice, so I'll leave this little wee guy just on the side. Might need it again, so let's just pop these straight through this piece. There we go. So leave the black bits at the bottom, basically, because we're going to push everything on the top. And yes, it looks like we will need this little wee tool, or you can use any piece of wood to kind of keep it at the bottom, because you don't want to damage your worktop, you see. Okay. So, 4 transparent sleeves go on each end. I'm going to take one of them out because it keeps falling out. We could take the middle one out as well, to be honest. Just start with the one. Okay. And just get it right in the middle of that tool, because it'll push it right down. There we go, so it's holding it nice and tight. So we do exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to add another 3 sleeves, transparent sleeves on this end, and then 4 transparent sleeves on this end, and 1 transparent, not transparent, 1 black sleeve, just one in this, on this middle rod. So let's go and do that. So we'll manage to push all the sleeves on those rods, and to be honest, it was actually quite hard work. It was not easy. And I'm going to show you something crazy as well. Look at this. Here's my little tool. I'm just too powerful. It snapped in half. I don't think I was pressing it that hard. But it's okay, never mind, because I've got spares from other kits. So it's very handy to keep all these little things, because they do come in very handy. Right, so this piece is nearly done. Now we move on to this plastic circle, and again, satisfaction. Love it. Nice. So we pop that on the middle. Make sure you grab the black shaft, not the transparent one, and pop the sleeve right on there. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okie dokie. Let's see if that turns. So it does. Excellent. Nice. This is exactly what we need. And don't forget, you need 2 of these pieces, so make sure you make another one. Then we go back to our main build, and these little 2 guys that we just assembled, they just go in right in here. So that's one of them, and the other one right here. Okay, and guess what? More sleeves. So we have got 8 more white sleeves to go up the back of this. So that's quite a lot of sleeves to go through, because it's actually quite hard on the fingertips, but it's fine. So let's just go and pop them on. So when we look at the back of it, it's this rod right here and this rod here, so in the line. So don't touch the middle ones just yet. None of them go on here just yet. So 2 on here, 2 on here, same on the other side, 2, 2. And yes, again, it's the transparent ones. Let's see if this is going to be any easier. Probably won't be, because it is quite difficult to get them into place nice and tight, because you do not want to break anything, because it's on the actual build already. Okay, so that's one of them in, as you can see. So you need to do exactly the same for the other rods, but make sure obviously to add another one on this one. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's all 8 sleeves in the place on this rod, that one, and this one right here. And yeah, it is not easy. It's actually slightly quite difficult, because they go on very tight, which is good of course, but Oh my god, that is a bit sore on the tips of the fingers. So one of the tips I can give you is what I actually did was I held one of the bits at the back here. Then I used this little tool. So once I popped the actual sleeve on, I used just a flat side to push it on nice and flush. Then I used this middle bit to push it in. Just watch your finger at the back, because I did manage to stab one of my fingers, because as you push it in, it kind of pops in and then it'll stab your finger. So make sure it's not in the way. And yeah, as you push it in until here, as you can see, you can't go any further. Then I used this end and I just popped it right in like this. See that? And I just pushed it straight in. Just make sure you hold something at the back, something flat, because you don't want to hold your finger on it. It does feel like the whole thing might just break. Okay, now on to the next bit. So we need our black sleeves, got them right here, and two of these pieces, so they just go at the back on just like this. And yes, as I said already, more sleeves. Hopefully not so sore fingertips, because yeah, they do get a little bit sore because it's very tight, as I said. So once you got these two pieces on right here, we go ahead and pop on black sleeves, so one on each rod. So here it looks like there's plenty of space to use this tool, so I'm going to put this at the back again, and just be very careful, because they are tight and you don't want to break anything. I don't want to hold on to this side here because I feel like I'm going to break something. So I just push both together. Just remember, finger at the back, you do not want to stab your finger, and just gently push it in. So we're going to do exactly the same for the rest of the 5 rods. So 3 at the bottom and there's 2 right here. So let's do that. This was a little bit easier, I would say, as you can see. So I've got all the black sleeves on. A bit more straightforward than popping dozens of the sleeves on. It is getting a little bit sore on the fingertips sometimes, but you just have to be gentle and just pay attention to what you're doing, you know, especially with your fingers, because you do not want to stab yourself. And so far, as I'm working on this, obviously there's going to be more bits to be joined up on this model, because there's a lot of runs to come and all the rest of it, but it feels a little bit kind of loose so far, but let's see if it corrects itself as we go along. So as we continue, we pop 2 of these pieces on just like that, and guess what? More sleeves. Yup. So we need 6 of the black sleeves. So again, pop one on, use the flat side, and yes, just put something on the other side, something flat, you know, and then straight through. Ooh, come on, nearly there. There we go. So yeah, it is definitely, again, much easier to put them on because it doesn't feel as awkward. So let's go ahead and pop the other 5 on. So we need all 6 rods covered just now. So that's all 6 black sleeves into place. And just to let you know, see when you push these middle ones in, yeah, don't worry about the sides, you can push them straight in till the end. But with the middle ones, be a little bit more careful, because as you push something at the back of this, and whenever you push this sleeve into place, like nice and hard, you might bend this piece right here, or this piece, because you're going to push it in too deep, this sleeve, and it's just going to start bending inwards, this piece and that piece right there. So just watch the strength of it. Okie dokie. Looking very good so far. Excellent. So when we come to these pieces, we need to make sure we pop this little guy in first, right here. Now these guys, right in here. Just be very gentle with those again as well. You need to make sure it gets in the hole, you know, nice and tight. Okay, there we are. See that? Right here. That's how it should be. And when we pop this guy on now, it doesn't just sit on the top like this, by the way. So you need to tilt it a little bit and pop it in. There we are. Squeezes in within the plastic there. And as you can see, it creates that tilt a little bit. So the angle for the marbles, of course, you see. Excellent. On to our next pieces, which are right here, and more satisfaction. Lovely. One more. Oh, that noise is just so good. Okay, let's go and pop this guy in. On this side, it's exactly the same. So it just goes in like that. Nice and easy. Just make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. Excellent, there we are. Look at this. See that? Excellent. Very nice. Okay. Now let's grab this guy right here. Pop that straight in here. Okay. Nice. On to our next pieces. Starting with this right here. Ooh. Just be very careful when you push it in. Come on. Yes, there we are. Nice. One more. As you can see, this piece right here, just make sure again that these teeth are facing inwards the kit, not outwards. Got to make sure everything's correct, you see. Come on. Aha, there we go. So you just got to be patient basically, and patient and very gentle, because you have to wait till it pops into place just correctly, you see. See this? Look at that. What a beaut. Amazing. Now when we go to next piece, do you remember that we assembled this, the piece Q, right at the start? So that's what we need to grab, and that will slide right in here, right in this gap. So when that ball is gonna run through here, this is gonna keep turning, see that? So it's gonna decide basically where the ball is going. Well, it kinda is basically gonna drop in here and then drop in there, but then another one's gonna come from the other side, I'm pretty sure. So that is pretty cool, isn't it? So now we got these two pieces, and these have to go in the place as well. So one goes right in here. Make sure you got the right ones. See that? That's got one leg basically sticking out. This has got two. So that goes at the back of it. This one-legged piece goes at the front. So let's go ahead and do that. Pop that right in. Just be careful again. And the same at the back, but the two-legged one. Let's have a look. Can you see that? Right in here. So that basically keeps this guy, the Q piece that we just popped in, nice and stable. And remember how I said that that thing just felt a bit jiggly? It does feel a bit stronger. Of course it's still jiggling about, but it should stabilize itself a little bit more, because we will have legs attached to this piece as well, you see. So that's great. Okay, now, do you remember what I assembled in my part 2 of this marble run assembly? If you don't, I'm going to show you right now. If you do, then yeah, you remember this massive piece. So this now can go right in the kit, and just look at it. It looks really nice, like really neat. So what we're going to do is pop it in and push it back a little bit, because when you look at these legs you can tell that it's going to go in, and we're going to have to push it back to secure it basically. So let's go ahead and do that. Not going to be the easiest thing, I would assume, but let's see. So just, yeah, obviously make sure the handle stays on the outside. There's no way you can get that wrong, because it's also numbered. When you look at this leg right there, it says 3, and on the actual board it says 3 as well, same as here. 4 on the leg of this big piece and 4 on the board. 6 there and 6 on the board. So yeah, you can't get that wrong. Okay. Just be very gentle. It's going in slowly. Oh, look at that. Looks absolutely magic, doesn't it? Just trying to push that forwards. Yes, excellent. That's what I like to see. Yup. Nice click. Did you hear that nice click? And if you want to, you can just turn it upside down and see if you actually pushed all the legs forwards, because you're going to see a gap at the back of them. So I have, and it doesn't look like I can push it any further. So as you can see, it is shaping into this beautiful, nice piece. Now we need to go ahead and pop these three little guys into place, and I do find it quite funny how it's made quite awkward actually, because to get this little piece in a place, it's not the easiest thing, because with my sausage fingers it's actually quite hard to get in there. Let's see. Oh god. So when you look at the instructions, you will definitely understand, like, okay, so I have to get in there. That is not easy. Oh yes, it went in. Nice. So I'm going to show you where that piece is. It is right there. See how it's tucked right in. That obviously is good because it's holding this whole gear system in place, and there's going to be another one going in at the back, but my god, that is awkward. Right, now one for the back. This looks a bit easier. It's this piece right there. Right, okay, now let's go ahead and pop this guy in right here. There we go, just right here. So that piece is in right in there. Nice one. So now onto these pieces, and these pieces might be quite tricky for a lot of people. And yes, it is actually quite tricky. So let's see how this goes in. So I just turn it like that a little bit at an angle. Pop in here first, so in this run, right in that gap. Yep, there we go. The other gap, I'm going to try and point at it, which is right here. See this gap? So that connects to this piece right here. And then obviously that hole right here will connect to this piece right here. And then this big piece, this piece, will connect to this piece here. Does that make sense? Well, let's see. So let's go ahead and pop that in. Just be very careful. There we go. Okay. Good, okay. So I'll show you that in just 1 second. Come on. Nice. So this is how it should go in, you see. Now let's go onto this piece. Alright, this should be way more straightforward. There we are. So yeah, these two pieces are not that easy to pop in. So see the arm that went in there, you need to make sure you kind of push this out a little bit, because there's a hole in there on this side, on the inside, just behind this piece, and that's where that arm has to kind of pop in to hold this in place. And then the middle bit from this piece goes in here in that long piece, because there's a hole in there, just a small one, and then this hooks onto this. Now we go and pop on these little guys, and just make sure the two small ones stay on the outside and two big ones stay on the inside. Okay, so just like that. That's the small one, stays on the outside, so everything pops in those holes now. Again, be gentle, because these are tiny pieces. Very quite fragile, I'd say. So yeah, be careful. There we go. Nice. Okay. There we are. Excellent. So this is how it should look like. Right there, see that? 2 long ones in the middle, 2 short ones on the outside. Now onto these 2 pieces. So this part goes in that small hole there. There's 2 holes in there, 2 lines, so there's a bigger one and a smaller one. So the first one goes in the smaller one, trying to push it right in. There we go. So that's pushed right in. Excellent. Now to this one, so that is the bigger piece and that goes in the bigger slot. Come on, push in. So it's in the place, but now what I need to do is just try and push it back a little bit. Aha, there we go. Trying to straighten out because it looked a little bit squint there. Okay, that's better. There we go. So this is how that piece and that piece goes in, just like that. Very nice. Onto these pieces. So now we just need to make sure that all of these 3 pieces hold together just nicely, so they're not wobbling about all over the place. Nice. And then this just at the bottom, right here. So you also need to pay attention to the gaps in this grey piece, because they are slightly different sizes. That's quite a small gap, that's a bigger one, that's kinda about the same as the middle one. So you got to be very careful. So the thin gap is for the brown piece, you see. Is it all flush? Yes, it is. Excellent. Very nice. And now we go this little guy right here. Oh, that's hard to pop into place as well. Oh, oh my goodness. Right, let me show you. This piece right here. I was trying to push it through the side there for some reason, but what you got to do is, so you put it on top of that line, that hole basically. Push it in, don't put it in fully because you're not going to be able to. So push it right down and then you're going to have to push it in, right in that hole that's in there on that white piece. So yeah, could be a little bit tricky as well, so just be very careful. And it's just making this whole side much sturdier, so that's great. So on to our next pieces now. Okay, so there are quite a few like little fiddly things, so you just got to be very patient actually, because you might, because I thought, oh yeah, the gear's in, well, the gear functionality and everything's there, you know, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna put in just a few pieces and I'm gonna get very close to completing it basically and just put the runs on, but no, just you got to have a lot of patience. Okay, let's got this little guy going right in here. Push that right in. There we are. Keep it nice and stable. Now the longer piece, that goes right here. Excellent. Nice. So now we got these 2 guys. So don't forget, they might be slightly different, they might not be actually, but you always have to make sure. So it looks like one of them is slightly smaller. So F6 looks like it's slightly smaller, so yeah, just follow the instructions, you see. Don't want to make any silly mistakes. So we'll pop that in right here. Just at the top, connected to this run. Right there, and then that just goes into the top, just like that. Just, oh, it's a little bit loose there, see that? So it's supposed to hold it together. It doesn't really, it's not tight. And if it will affect the run even slightly, I will definitely just glue it into place, because that's nice and simple, you know, straightforward. Nice, good click. Let's see if this is tight. It's a little bit better than the other piece, to be honest. Okay, nice one. Okay, now just you wait for this piece. Well, sorry, 2 of the pieces. So these are fine. Look at these. These 2. You can hardly see them. Look at them. They're absolutely tiny. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, we just have to use them, you know? It's as simple as that. Oh, and I think my head just banged the camera. Sorry for the shakes. Oh. And there are quite a lot of spare pieces of this little thing. I'm not sure if I'll need to use them again, but there are spares, just to let you know. So I assume it's very easy to lose them, and they might just break easily as well. Right, so now this guy just has to go into place. Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, that holds up way sturdier. Oh, that is much better. So as I mentioned, piece, remember before this guy that I just popped in, there was a piece that I put in and I was just like, oh, it's not really holding it together because it's very loose. As soon as I pop this in, no bother, very sturdy. So that is very, very good. More satisfaction. That was actually very quiet though, to be honest, but it's fine. Oh god, there we go. Oh, that was not easy whatsoever. Whew. Wow, okay. That was very tough to bend. This side, right here, see this? It was this grey part that it was just so hard to pop in. If you wanted to get it out now, it would be hard also, because you would have to break off one of the little pieces on there to get it out. Whew. Yeah, that wasn't easy. And now this little guy can go on it, but I'm just like, what's the point, because it's so hard in there. That is definitely not coming off. Now we're going on and popping this. So there is a rod, a metal rod right there, but it looks like it's too short. I might have to push some more in. And if you do see that it's too short as well, because this black sleeve is supposed to go on here, the rod, but the rod isn't there. You just can't see it because it's sticking out on this side. So I'm just going to push it right in. Just grab a little wee tool. Like not right in, just a little bit, just enough so I can pop that sleeve on nice and flush. Let's see. Oh, nearly lost it. That was a close one. So we're going to need 2 pieces for this. 2 wooden pieces, because we want each piece on each side basically. Because you don't want to use your fingers. Yeah, I know. Because that can end up a little bit sore. Aha, there we go. Nice and tight on both sides. Excellent. Okay, now let's move on to this little guy right here. Okay. Nice. So that just very simply went straight in here. Very easy. Now let's grab these guys. Don't need our tools anymore. So as you look at them, they're obviously different. One of them's longer than the other, you see. So just pay attention to that. Okay. There's one. And there's the other side. Nice. So as this is going to go in right here, we're going to push it forwards. Pull it forwards, or you could say push it forwards, just to basically lock it in its place. Just gently push it forward. Side by side, gently. Don't try and push in one side fully, because the other side is going to be far too tight in to probably go in. So just be very careful there. Just a little bit more. Let's have a look at the back. So as you can see, yep, nice. Now these legs can just pop in the holes. So if they pop in the holes nicely, that means you have pushed it deep enough, basically as far as it can go. Yes, there we go. Nice. So let's get our next pieces in. Okay. Let's pop this in right here. Then that goes straight through here. Okay. I almost feel like putting the legs on the base because I'm scared it's gonna scratch my surface. But no, it's okay. That will be fine. So So that just goes nicely in here, push that in at the end, and then this middle part, nice and tight. It does feel much sturdier, which is amazing. That's exactly what we need, you know? Okay, on to our next pieces. So we got our G14 and G4, so G14 will go right here. There we go, so that's one of them. And this, just pay attention to how it's going in. There we go, just like that. See that? Absolutely magic. Okay. Just be nice and careful. Push that in, there we go. And then the X part pushes right down. There we are. Nice. On to next two pieces. That looks like a boot. Looks really cool. Yes, see. So that will go straight in here. Careful, careful there. And this will go right here. So this will be for a runs, you see, to hold them all into place just nicely. Okie dokie. On to our next pieces. Okay, so that goes right in here. Push that in. Excellent. So just make sure that this piece goes in correctly. So if you actually put it in the wrong way, it doesn't allow you to pop it in because it's the wrong way, which is very good. God, oof, that is hard to go in though. Come on. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was tough. Was not easy at all. And here's our first run that's going to go in. So this is their run each. So let's go and pop it in. So it goes at the bottom. Okay. Nice and gentle. Okay, that's that in popped in. It's actually really tough to get in. It's quite tight. Yeah, very tight. And there's nothing to push it in at the end there, so excellent. Okay, so we got our next pieces, and look at this. Look at this tiny little thing. Again, one super tiny thing. It'd be very easy to basically lose, so just be careful. Just be very easy here. That goes right in here. God, that is very fiddly. So this one, it's nearly there, this one. It's this little thing that doesn't kind of want to go in the slot, so I just need to kind of push it in. Don't want to break it, of course. So it's nearly in, but that little tiny piece, oh, there we go, it finally fell into place. Ooh, that wasn't easy actually, just to get this little guy in. Whew. Definitely not easy, right? Now let's move on. Now we're on to this long piece right here, so another tiny little thing that's going right in here. So just be careful, because be very easy to lose it, you know. And this piece right here, very fragile, so yeah, be very careful. So that will just go right in here. Let's see if we can start from the end here. I'm going to use my tool to just kind of hold the bottom in place. There we go, yeah, that popped in much easier. Nice. Okay, and we'll still need this tool though, because we need to make sure everything here is flush. Might not need it, but it's just in case. Okay, one in. Oh. Yes. There we go, nice one. So that went in much easier than that small one, which is good. Okay, now this little guy, right in here. The smaller they are, the harder it is to deal with them, trust me. So, this is our first run in, as you can see. Looks absolutely magic. So I'm going to pop these two pieces in, and then we're going to add another 2 runs. Let's have a look. So far so good. And now this little weird boot looking thing. There we go. Nice. Right here. As you can see, this piece right there. So let's go and grab our run G. So that is right here. So that will be attached to this run and then it goes in here. So just be careful, could be a bit fiddly, you know. So now we can go and pop in the run F. So that is right here. So we go at the back here. Okay. So it's obviously going to get higher and higher because we're starting at the bottom. Because there's no way for you to start a run at the top and then go to the bottom. That's never going to work. Nice. Okay, that's in. And yeah, that little tool is actually very handy to push these runs in. Nice. Look at this. Definitely taken its shape. Absolutely lovely. And now we've got even more runs to connect. Okay. So let's just go ahead and do that. So this is run E now. Okay. Nice and gentle. There's no rush. So let's start with this end. Just use your little wee tool to help you push it down. Let's see if this falls right into place. So it does. Now onto this one. Yes. There we go. Nice. Onto this run, but I can't go in just yet because this piece has to go in. Okay, you can try and pop that run in, but then you'll realize, oh, where is it gonna really hold? Well, it's gonna hold in place, but you might just start thinking, oh, why is there a gap? You see, very easy missed in the instructions, to be honest, just a one piece. Because you get a little bit excited, like, oh, all my runs are getting connected, you know. Don't need many pieces now from the wooden sheets, but you do. So you just have to be careful. Okay, just hold the bottom of the sheet. You don't want to crack it, definitely not. So look at that. Oh, there's so many pieces. Look at that shaping all together. Ho, ho, ho. That is absolutely magic. Now let's grab these two pieces, and you need to make sure that this big one is facing the right way. So see this pointy leg? That has to face that way. And this little guy, you need to pay attention to this as well. So when you look at it, you can see a triangle right there, and there's a circle right here. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Heard a wee click, so that is even better, and then that goes straight in here. Now we move on to the piece C. Okay, so that will just go right in here. Ah, there we go. So we'll push that right down. I'm trying to center it. There we go. Excellent. So when you look at this right there, I was trying to center it because you don't want it to be off, you know, you want it to be right in the middle of that run, so it just looks neat. Okay. Then we grab our run A, and that will go just right here. It will be like this basically. So this end will go in first, and there are slots, as you can see. There's slot here, and there's slot there where the grey parts go in. So now we're just trying to get that run in its slot right there, you see. I'm trying to push this piece back a little bit, this piece right here. And that did seem to help, yes. Nice. So if you push this piece back a little bit, this piece right here, just a little bit, it will just go down a little bit and pop in its place. Okay, excellent. So now we come here. This should just pop in a little wee hole, and one more. Yes. If you don't want to use your fingers, just pop your finger beneath, you know, and just use your little wee tool to give you a little wee hand. Okay, so when we look at this, You can see it's like slanted a little bit because the ball is going to come down here, you see. This can go up a little bit. There we go. Create a gap there. There we are. The grey part was popped out a little bit and it was kind of down. So I just pushed it up a little bit. So now it looks much better. Excellent. Okay. Now we'll grab this little guy and then we'll just go right in here. Nice and easy. But again, see that? There's a circle and there's a triangle, sorry. So when you look at the actual board, there's a circle right here on the right hand side and a triangle on the other. So make sure they line up. Okay, that piece is in. We are so close to completing this. Then we move on to run B, and that's got actually just a couple of bits to be attached. So we got these two guys. Again, pay attention. There's triangle and arrow on both of these pieces. And when you look at the actual run, as you can see, there's a circle and a triangle. So make sure everything's facing the same direction. Alright, let's pop that one on. And just be, again, obviously very careful because that grey part is very thin and yeah, you can break so easily. So why you got to pay attention to these is because when you look at this, see those two pieces? They're kind of going up. They're not flat, it's not straight. They're kind of going up a little bit. That's why you got to follow all these signs, you see. Then we get this little guy and that will just pop right on here. So just push it through because the grey parts will attach to the sides of it. Just be again very careful. Make sure it's nice and flush as well. If you need to, of course, use your little wee tool to give you a hand. Don't want to just use your fingers for everything because that's how disasters can strike, you see. And there we go, as you can see, nice and flush on the inside. That's exactly what you need. Okay, so now we are on to this guy, and just make sure you put it in the right way, because if you're going to try and put it in this way, so basically other way around, it's literally not going to go in because this little thing is off center, you see. And just push it in very gently. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, so now we grab this little guy and that will just go in straight, literally straight. So hold the run just like this. Literally all you have to do is follow the instructions. And then this will go straight through. There we go, literally just like that. So what you can do is, obviously the instructions show that you should put this front after this has gone through. But that will make your life much harder, trust me. As you saw, I pushed it straight through, no problem at all. Okay, then we go on to these pieces, there we are. So, see this guy, yeah? As you can see, it's very nice and flexible. So there's going to be a lot of bits that you're going to have to pull out. And it might take quite a few minutes, but you need to get off all that excess that's been left on it. And to sand it, you might think it's a pain, but it's actually quite easy. So you just push it out gently and sand it like that. Or what I did was, I literally just popped the sandpaper in like this, sanded, moved it around, sanded, and as you move it along, as you can see, it gets closer and closer to the center. The closer to the center it gets, that like it's not that hard to sand it, but it will get tighter, but you're able to sand everything. See now, literally just went straight through, and then you would turn the sandpaper and do exactly the same on the other side. So I found that very nice and straightforward, and yeah, just make sure all the loose bits are off. What's all this dirt? Okay, so now we got to go and pop this into place. And when it comes to actually popping this piece on here, again, pay attention to the circle and the triangle. You can see in the middle and on the outside. So when you pop it on like this, all you have to do is look at it from the front and just think, oh, this leg has to face to the left from the back, so straight. And that's literally it. So let's start with the top. So as you can see, when you look at this piece here, there's an O on it, so you know that's where it has to go. So that's the top part here. Same as on this side, there's a triangle right there, and there's a triangle on this piece. So we're definitely doing the right thing. There we are. Excellent. Nice. So that's our spirally run done. As you can see, that looks really cool. That bottom part was a little bit fiddly, but what I did was, see that bottom right there where that triangle is, I kind of pushed that part this way and moved it down and then pushed it through so it would go beneath that little wee hook basically. And yep, it's nice and tight. Amazing! Now we can go and pop all this on. So we'll join these two runs up now, so that's very straightforward. There's a hole right here and there's a pokey bit right here. So that just has to slide right through it. Should be very straightforward. So they should both kind of line up. See at the bottom there? There we go. That's exactly what we need. Oh, 2 seconds, no. That's what we need. There we go. So this little guy, make sure it stays at the top of this spirally run and not at the bottom, because as soon as you push that through and you look at it, just imagine the ball's running here. Where's it going to go? It's going to go straight off the track because this bit is now pushed up. So just pull it back and push it through at the top of it, because then the ball's going to come in and nicely go around and pop in. Right, now onto the run. Let's see how fiddly this is going to be. Nice and easy. So this will pop in the top bits right here. So it's nearly there. This is where it becomes very dangerous, very fiddly. Let's see. Because we need to push this straight in, because when you look at the back of it, see these two holes right here, it has to go in these two slots. But let's see how much pressure it needs. That's my fear, you see. Gonna try and hold the bottom as well at the same time and push it in. Now these two leggies got to pop straight in. Nice and flush. Yes, there we go. And now we can go and pop this guy on. So the actual run has to go down as well. Okay, I'm going to use my little tool just to give it a little boost. There we go. That's better. Now this bit needs to pop in the slot. Come on. There we are. So now this little guy, it was quite loose, but since we popped it through, because there's a hole in it at the back, it holds it nice and tight now. Excellent. We're nearly there, literally. So, remember, part 1. Look at these nice bits. So now these have to go into place. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So this should go right in here. Again, very careful. I can hear so many noises when I try and push things in a place. Oh, it's quite nerve-wracking, to be honest. It does all feel quite very fragile, I'm not gonna lie. So this run's not that easy to pop in either. I'm gonna do the bottom first, see if that helps. Again, I'm gonna use a little wee tool to get in there. Yes, that's much better. So that little tool helped by miles, trust me. Now this should just go in those two holes. Nice, there we go. Excellent. That's what we want. Okay. So see those two legs right there, there's two holes. They go in right in there. And then this guy hooks on here, and the same as this piece, because there's a hole, and this piece right there, there's a hole underneath this, and it just kind of slots nicely on the top. Nice. Okay, now we are going on to this piece, and this is basically the last piece. There are just a couple of pieces left, but it's not like there are runs or anything like that, so that is great. Okay, we just need to make sure we pop this in the correct way, you see. So we've got 2 holes here, 2 holes here. So these pokey leggies will go at the bottom, and the top ones will go in the top. As easy as that. As easy as that. It's actually not that easy. Okay, so that's the top bit. That's the bottom in. Now we just need to push it down on these little things. It needs to pop right into place. God, I don't want to push too hard. Scared. Okay, there we are. It looks pretty awesome to me. So now we've only got just a couple of pieces, so let's attach them. So now we've got this little guy to go right in here. Just right there, just to hold it in the place, you know. Just so it's not moving about too much. Okay. Again, obviously be careful. I know we're super close to finishing, but you do not want to break anything at this stage. Very easily done. So just be careful. Kinda needs a little wiggle. Okay, there we go. So that piece is right in the place now, and yes, that was quite awkward actually. Not easy to put in at all, but yeah, that run is now nice and sturdy. So now let's go ahead and pop those legs in, and then we've just got the name badge, and then that will literally be it. So that's the legs in place now, so it's nice and stable. So now all that's left is the actual rocker plate. So this will be at the bottom, this will be on the top. More satisfaction. Nice. Nice and quick, eh? So we need to glue ROKR logo on there, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it in the center. This could be a little bit difficult, to be honest. Let's see. That's not too bad. It could be worse, I suppose. It's actually very tiny. I wish it was a bit bigger, because when you look at the instructions, well, it kind of looks about the same size, but it would be nicer if it was bigger. And the actual edges of the sticker that came off this little wee plastic thing, they are very rough. They're not straight at all. Very rough. Anyways, let's go and pop this on. Guess what, everybody? It has been completed. The ROKR Marble Night City run has been completed. So this was the last bit that went in, and that does look pretty neat, doesn't it? Nice and flush. And I'm not going to go and test it out now with the actual marbles, but I will give this mechanical side just a wee test to see if this actually works. And then just make sure you stay tuned for my next video where you're going to see how it's actually working. So it seems perfectly fine. I just had to move this top run a little bit off that plastic gear right there because it caught it there for a wee second. But yeah, it looks great, and then one day I cannot wait to actually motorize it. How cool it would be if you just pushed a button and it just went and did its own thing. And yeah, I hope you everybody enjoyed this. Make sure you leave a like, that would be absolutely awesome. And subscribe for more videos and ring the bell for video notifications. And I shall see you all next time to see how this works. Bye for now.